guys, how's it going? Alright, so I wanted to get started on uh Rovers. There was a rover last time I wanted to send, and it crashed. So we're gonna send it again. So let's check this out. I also made another rover off camera that I wanted to show you guys. So first, let's do so you can see this one, blue rover. That's the one I made off camera. I'll show you red rover first. So here's our rover. This is what we tried to send to the moon last time, and it crashed and in a blaze of glory. But I've made some improvements from last time. There are some wider. What's the word for it? I don't know. It's wider. And so the reason I did that so it wouldn't tip and flip over, and also add some RCS, which will allow me to control this guy's descent as it comes down to the moon. And I think that's it. Those are the changes we made. So let's come down here. And I've already created the rocket. So let's get this started. So I called it a small trailer. Oh, that's not the right one. Oops. Small trailer is a small trailer. It's like an RV park on the moon. So let's see here. Load that. That's right. We didn't finish the rocket. So this is what we got. It's just the final stage and basically a descent. This thing is meant to see. Oh, this thing's meant for the atmosphere. Do I have one that's not for atmosphere? I thought I made one that's not for the atmosphere. Let's see here. Red Rover. I guess not. So let's do this. We're gonna make a few changes. We're not gonna worry about the Atmo one right now. Oh, you know what? Don't save. Just reload it. I already messed up. Alright. So I wanted... Yeah, this is a heat shield. We could make an attempt to shoot this straight for Duna if we wanted to. I mean, why not? It's it might struggle a bit trying to get a signal off, but we can try it. We should probably try to get a satellite around Duna first before we ever send the rover. So let's see this one. Let's call this one Red Rover Atmo. Okay. Save it. And then we'll call this new one No Atmo. And that will tell me that we don't have this equipped to enter atmosphere. So get rid of all of that. And then we're going to re-edit the fairing. And probably I'm going to re-edit this. We don't need one that big. Coupler. Let's see here. Decouplers. Is this the kind I'm looking for? Alright, so come down. Bring this lower. That looks good. Okay. I hope the fairing doesn't interfere with the separatrons there. However, we can bring them down lower, because this is just going to connect to the fairing itself, so I think that'll be fine. I think we're good there. Alright, so as far as upper stages, I think I'm happy with this. Monopropellant, we got some monopropellant. All we have to do really now at this point is just to build the rocket itself. And also fix this, delete the fairing. Let's just delete it and rebuild the fairing. So we'll just build almost straight up, not quite. Oh. Not quite wide enough to envelop the tires. There we go. It's a cheaper fairing too, I like it. So let's go back to the couplers. Throw that there. And I think I just put this kind of a tank on there, and I'm gonna add, it's gotta be a slightly bigger one, is there not? Maybe we can add this. This might make it, yeah, that's the size I'm looking for. So we'll just probably just leave it like that then. And then we'll have root part for the auto strut. So keep it solid. So let's add that rhino on there. Excuse me. Let's check this. Alrighty. I almost should. I should add one more. Oh, excuse me. I should add one more stage here. So like bring this down lower and then add like a smaller tank right here. And then from there we can add some smaller thrusters. It's way too big. I want something that's the same size as I mean that might, nah. I want to add a smaller engine to help like with the descent. I mean, those are alright, but they're not fuel efficient for what we're trying to do here. Maybe this one? That might work. Let's see here. So it's 60 kilonewtons in no atmosphere. That might be enough. I think that'll be enough. That should be enough. We should be okay there. Let's see, we're gonna do root part. There we go. And we're gonna fix our stagings. I already know that I messed it up somewhere in here by making these changes. So we got the engine here, move up to the fairing, boom, boom, that looks good. Now, as far as this engine, what should go next after this is the engine. And then when the engine goes out, then, oop, those separatrons are not in the right spot. These separatrons should be sharing space with this decoupler. There we go. Yes, that'll be a problem later on if we don't fix that. Okay, so we got separatron there, and then these, or I mean decoupler, then those separatrons. And I think we're good. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. So let's rebuild this fairing. if I remember correctly, it has to be a little bit wide because of those tires. And then we'll just bring it up a little bit higher. Call that good. Okay. And I'm also gonna add, I don't know how much power we're gonna need here. Let's see here. That's too much. I already know that's too much. Let's get a 37, throw that there. Bam, bam. See auto struts. Root part. And then we'll add a, I always forget what it's called. Is it the Mastodons? It's the big one. It's the Mammoth. That's what it was. Alright, so we'll do auto struts. Root part. So it's just a pretty straightforward rocket. Nothing too fancy about it. I am going to add boosters to this. I like adding these because they're pretty tough, and I like to customize my boosters. So let's see here. So we're gonna grab that decoupler, bring it a little lower. A tad lower. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, so engines, or not engines, fuel tanks. And we're gonna find, not you. Okay. Or, we could try to add this. That'll make it more aerodynamic. And then maybe add that. It's a little small. Not sure if I like it. Let's see here. I wanted to add a little bit more fuel than that to this section here. So we'll, oops. That's ugly. Alright, so let's go back to the tanks. I want to add that adapter. And then from there we'll probably just add like the little nose cone here. And call it good. Root parts. Actually, it probably should be the grandparent part. There we go. I think it looks good. I think this rocket's good. I will add some to these, and this should be sharing space on the staging. But on those decouplers, I think I'm gonna add some separatrons. Just to make sure that this is a clean separation from the rocket. Okay. Add that. And add one down here. And one more right there. And I'm gonna do the same on this side. Okay. And then everything here should look good. Yeah. Alright. So next up, I think what I'll do. So far this looks good. I like this. Is there anything else that I might need to do? I was thinking about adding this. Maybe I should add this as the descent stage. No, we can keep that one. We'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the drawing board. We're gonna launch this over to Duna. And test it out. This is the test. And like any Blue Nebula Studio test, if it starts to look really good, we'll just roll with it. So, we'll fire that up. Oh my gosh. Well, that's why we test these things. So the Separatrons went off way early. They should all be right here with this decoupler. And they're not. So let's move all of those right here. Bam. Then we save our rocket, move on. I'm saving the rocket just because I might want to send more rovers in the future. Move my seat up. There we go. Let's relax. Woof. Blinded myself with my little disco ball there. Alright. Much better. So, let's see here. I am noticing that the core is burning fuel faster than the boosters, which we don't want. So, we should probably either take fuel away from these guys, or just add fuel to the center. Probably should have done our gravity burn too, or gravity turn. This is my cat, by the way, you guys. His name's Lincoln. Yep. So this is not gonna work. I mean, it'll work. It's just annoying. So let's do this. Let's go back to vehicle assembly. I'm going to take these two fuel cells out because it's just kind of silly to have this weird, awkward tank in there for no reason. But also, hey cat, what's up? Yes. Yas. I'm gonna bring this down lower, and I'm gonna add trying to find the right size. Is it this one? There it is. It's quite a bit more fuel, but I think it'll be alright. I think it's okay. So let's do that. That might help. It's gonna be a heavier rocket now because of it. You can't. Alright, so we launch this up. Let's take a look. Alright, that's what I wanted. See, the boosters are now burning fuel faster, or burning their reserves faster than the core, which is what I wanted. Because then we can just dump the boosters when they're all out. Just makes everything smoother. Instead of having the boosters carry the big rocket up into space because the core runs out sooner. That's annoying. Start doing our gravity turn. Dude, I got something in my eye. Ah! Okay. I hate that it's nighttime. I should probably warp ahead next time on the next flight so we can just have some daytime. Alright, so let's dump the boosters. And those boosters kind of messed up our descent a little bit. Okay, so we are now in space. So let's start doing a more aggressive turn here. And then start planning our circularization, excuse me. And start planning to get to the moon. Alright. You can dump that fairing. It's cumbersome and humongous. There we go. Don't need that anymore. We're also going to open up one of these antennas. Probably, let's try this one. The reason there's extra antennas on this is just in case one breaks during the landing. Because if that does happen, then we're going to lose control of our rover, so. And I decided not to extend the better, like the more advanced antenna. Because I want to keep that one preserved. I'd rather have that antenna working and then just break off one of the cheaper ones I don't care about as much. But once we all land and everything's all good, then we'll just extend the better one. Alright, so we'll start burning ahead now. Did realize that we need to rename this thing to let the game know that it is a rover, not a probe. Okay, so we're circularizing nicely. I overextended the burn a little bit, so we can probably bring it down a little bit, not use all that fuel. But that's what that center stage is for anyways, for circularizing around the planet that you just took off from. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. We're getting there. It's not going to be the perfect circle, but it doesn't have to be. Because all we're going to do from this point, as soon as we get around it, just need to clear that Sputnik line. There we go. As soon as we do that, basically all I was going to do was add the maneuver to reach the moon. Which I believe if we burn right here, bye cat. If we burn there, yep. See, the moon's really easy to eyeball. It's a piece of cake. Also, all these satellites here. I know it's confusing, but it helps with drones, like drone missions like the one we're doing right now, so we don't hit any blind spots. Because if we hit a blind spot and lose signal, then we lose control of our drone or probe or whatever. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So let's see here. We're gonna go ahead here, and I'm just gonna start burning. Okay, dump this stage. It is gonna become space junk, but you know what? It's fine. Okay, start burning this last stage here. Check our fuel, because this is also gonna have to retrograde and circularize around the moon, and help us to descend on the moon. So we have to do a lot with a little bit here. And, oh, we're not quite. There we go. That's what I want. So now we can zoom up here. Go to the parry apps, add maneuver. Then we'll do some retrograde burns. Boom. Easy. 6-second burn. That's not bad. And, wonder if there's a way to make it more circularized. That looks better. That'll make it more controlled also. So let's see. Let's go to our maneuver. We can warp ahead now. It's a 4-hour trip, huh? It's not bad. To get to the moon? 4 hours? That's easy. You can be on the moon and back in a single day. So let's warp ahead some more. I like to click. I know there's the period and comma buttons, but I like to click the route just so I know where I'm gonna stop my warp, because I overshoot the buttons quite often. So alright, so let's we need to land there on that camp. Okay, it's a 6-second burn. Perfect. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Not bad at all. Alright. So the next part, it's looking good. Our camp is right there on that crater, so that's where we need to land. And we won't be able to land on it in this pass. We're going to have to come back around here to our parry apps. What I'm going to do is lower our orbit quite significantly. Not to a collision course kind of style, but I do want our orbit to pass over the camp. So let's see here. If I do it like so, and I do this just right. Let's see, how are we doing here? It's not over the camp. Not yet, at least. There we go, that's over it. Almost, at least. Not still not quite where I want it. It's close though. Now if I I did a radial. No radials is unnecessary. I was trying to, however, select this to maybe, there we go. That looks good. So the next burn's gonna be 10 seconds. 10-second burn. Should have enough, and then also a retrograde burn to start free falling into the moon. So it is an expensive burn, however. So let's see, let's warp here. And if you're wondering what this is the leftovers of our Apollo-style moon landing. We didn't have enough fuel at the orbit to land there, so it's just gonna sit there forever, floating around the moon until we send something to either deorbit it or recover it. But as it stands now, it's pretty stuck there, so it's not going anywhere. Oh, you know what? It's not quite where I wanted to be. So let's do this. How much fuel do we got? There's still quite a bit. We're not over the camp like I wanted to be. Do another tilt like this. That will do it. 5-second burn. We just need to be over the camp. And then we can retrograde. Oh, I'm gonna close my door real fast. So let's see here. "54 seconds from the maneuver node." Okay, so I'll start burning here. Okay. This is not bad. So we could, right here, let's start planning our descent. Add maneuver. And I'm going to do a retrograde. I'm going to purposely overshoot. Ooh, that's not bad at all. That was really good. So I'm going to purposely overshoot, and the reason being is that when you overshoot, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room on your descent because the moon rotates. And so as you're falling, the ground's moving underneath you. And so you're not going to fall straight down where you set it. So like you can't just set a maneuver node and just expect to fall right where you see the landing. So because it's going to shift. Alright, get closer to our node there. 7-second burn. We're going to have plenty of fuel on our descent. Way more than I expected to have. Okay. So now that we're coming down, let's warp. See how that moves? That's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna get a little bit further ahead, let us free fall a little bit more, and then switch over to our retrograde position. And I'm going to do a few changes here. Because we could retrograde, slow ourselves down. However, oh, I just passed our spot. Okay. We also gotta be careful not to hit our camp with debris right now, so that's also important. Okay. So we got another 4-second burn. After this burn, I think I'm gonna dump our load here and just let it crash. We're coming up to our camp now. I can see it in the crater. And how are we doing? That looks good. Okay. At this point, my cat's trying to get out. I didn't realize he was inside. Give me 1 second. Let me open the door for the cat. Alright, Lincoln. You wanna get out? Okay. Cat's out. And he's not coming back in until the stream is over, so... It's up to you, cat. You made your choice. Alright, so we're gonna separate. Here. Boom, boom. Say goodbye to that. We're gonna let that crash. Now, for our retrograde... Let's see how much of the retrograde affects our fall here. It kinda does. In fact, I wouldn't start like hardcore retrograding until maybe like right here. We should be okay at that point. So 46 seconds. Then we'll start burning with our last stage here. Switch that over to the ground so we can get a good idea of where death starts. That other piece is falling nicely away from the camp. And not toward our camp. So I don't want to send a missile to our guys down there. Alright, 8 seconds to our burn. We're just gonna burn now. So let's start doing that. This is quite the fuel efficient little engine. I'm gonna start using this one more often. I like it. Alright. As soon as we get our trajectory down, that looks good. And all those messages, that was the piece that we just jettisoned, so we're okay. Alright, so we'll retrograde some more. Now at this point, it's just about controlling our descent. So we're gonna start slowing ourselves down. All the way down. And then we'll jettison this as well as we get closer to the bottom. Okay. Let's take off some of that speed. We're still pretty high before we can think about our RCS, but let's take a look here. Yeah, we're gonna have to slow down like a lot. Quite a bit more. We're getting there. We gotta bring this down to like... like 10. Now, the part that I did not test was whether the RCS can actually slow us down on our descent without all this extra fuel. Because obviously it can't by itself. So let's dump that. And turn on the RCS. Oh, it's even. It's perfectly even. Alright, let's see. Moment of truth. If we can survive this. And, oh shoot. And there goes our antenna. So it can survive it, it just bounces. Let's see if we can get ourselves to flip. Okay. Can I flip it? No. Unfortunately, it's stuck. So we might have to come up with some kind of a something to keep it from flipping when it lands. It's most unfortunate. So it does hit hard. So we know that now. So go back to the vehicle assembly. I know it's kind of a long way to go backwards. However, we're hitting the ground too hard. And we're flipping. So let's see here. I guess what I could do. We could try adding like another stage on the rover itself that slows down. Kind of like a drone. A separate drone with its own fuel supply that can kind of carry it down like a crane. There's just not a lot of space on the top of this rover to do such kind of something like that. So I don't know, I don't even know where to put it. Yeah, I don't, it's already full. I don't know where to stick anything new on here. And even if I did, it does kind of take away from the aesthetic part of this. It makes it look less great. It's less great. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it, even though I don't like the way it looks. But it will create a little crane. So I do it like this. Okay. And if I add another smaller one right here, I'm gonna do this and like it. I'm putting the fuel here. That's where I'm gonna put the fuel. And what this is gonna do, doesn't need a lot. Just needs enough to just slow us down at that last second. Okay. And oh man, I didn't think about this, but I hope we don't cook our rover on the descent. Huh. In fact, what we could do is just throw that on the top. And so far everything's fitting. Oh, nope, we got a little spot there. But I'm trying to see what I could do. So I'm gonna add those smaller thrusters. What are they called? Werner engines. I wanted to add maybe those onto this. Now the problem with doing it this way is that we're gonna probably cook our rover. So I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to do it like that. The other option would be to, let's see here, add more, like a smaller fuel tank on this thing. Like this. And just place it somewhere inside the rover. And then we'll just put the burner engine on the bottom. So I mean, we could do that. How many units of that? So that's 10. So yeah, let's try that. So we're gonna bring this to the left, like you do. And then bring that up. And then we're just gonna push it inside. into the rover. And where's the center of mass on this guy? Oh, we can't even check. It's gonna just do the rocket. So I'm pretty sure the center of mass is kind of closer to the back, which I'm a-okay with. I am gonna see. Let's add those burner engines on here. This will make it. This is just gonna make it less complicated. I just don't know if there's gonna be enough fuel. So let's see here. Let's add 1 or 2 here. I'm gonna add another one right here. I don't know how much or how long that will last us. Not very long, but it will be just long enough to slower descent. Because I know this has enough thrust to stop us from hitting the ground so hard to where we bounce. And because the bouncing sucks. But other than that, I mean, this is a pretty good build. So let's save that. I'm gonna launch. Get that up into space. Space. So. Okay. SAS. You know what? I don't like doing this in the dark. Let's fast forward this till daytime. Bring it to the morning. Bring on the morning. Where is it? There it is. Let's do it in the day so we can see. Alright. Gotta lift off. We're good. Let's do this. So let's start doing our gravity turn. Nice and easy like you do. Don't want to go too much right this early on. It's a top heavy payload. But so far so good. Very nice. So we'll probably hold it right here. So far we're on point. Okay, booster engines are almost done. Okay, we'll dump those. And then first stage is almost exhausted as well. We'll dump that. As soon as we leave the atmosphere, we'll dump the fairing as well. Get all that out of there. Make this light as possible. Okay. Now let's start working on our circularization. So we'll do our prograde, and I believe we have to do a little bit of a tilt because it tilted a little bit on that ascent. There we go. Start working toward our maneuver. As you guys can tell, this is it's an over-engineered payload that we got going on here, but it's fun. It's just here so we can have fun. Alright. Okay. And I like to click um, the path to do the warp, just so I know that I won't overshoot by mistake the maneuver node here. Like what I just did, I just clicked it, and so I didn't want to, instead of hitting the period and comma buttons to warp, I just click it and get closer to it that way. So let's warp some more. Oop. Didn't realize I forgot to get that stage started. Okay. Rover. Red Rover, Red Rover. Send Jebediah over. Alright, so what we're gonna do next is extend this antenna. Just so we don't lose contact with our ship. And probably on the descent. Actually, I don't know. I was thinking about... I put several antennas on this because this rover has a knack for bouncing when it lands. And so I don't want that. And so it was breaking stuff. Like we would break antennas off. So I was having a bunch of antennas on this thing to back up the rover. But... Alright, let's take a look here. How we looking? Not bad. Probably... Too bad you can't edit that maneuver after you've launched it. Okay. Bam. It's good enough. Now, let's see, where's the mun? It's over there. So what we'll do is we'll swing back around here, and we'll do our next burn. And the mun's pretty easy to eyeball, so I usually don't set it as the target. I actually tend to forget to do that. But we can set it as the target if you guys need to see it, so... Alright. So let's let that reach the maneuver node, and then we'll warp ahead. You can warp ahead with the maneuver node with this maneuver node, with the center of the nav ball on the maneuver node. When you warp, it won't like move it around like you do with the other nodes. I'll show you here. See, watch how these other nodes are moving around. Maneuver node stays right there in the center of the nav ball. That doesn't usually happen with the other nodes for me, so little nuance in the game. Alright, so we're going to 22-second burn. That's cheaper than the last burn, so that's nice. Alright, we're gonna dump this middle stage. There we go. This final stage should be enough to get us to the moon, circularize around the moon, and also deorbit us toward the camp. And it could probably even land us, if we really wanted to, on the moon. It's just that what would happen is we would have an awkward descent with this extra piece of equipment. So we're not going to do that. So let's match that trajectory that we had planned. Beautiful. So far, so good. Everything's looking really good. So let's see here. Let's do our add maneuver. We'll do something like this. So when we get closer to it, we can start doing our maneuvers. So 4-second burn, it's not bad. We got a ton of fuel in that tank too. Lots of wiggle room. Because we are going to have to make a quick maneuver that's going to place us over the camp. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. So we're going to want to land here on this little crater. Because that's where our camp is. And that camp needs, they need a rover. Now we're going to send another rover. One with seats and chairs and stuff for the Kerbals to hang out in. For now, we're sending this one here that is, oh crap. I think I made a mistake, you guys. I didn't have my guy here on the burn. Or the right trajectory, so we may have messed up our orbit just a bit. There we go. It's not too bad. Not too bad of a mess up. I will, let's see here. Start making some changes here. We want to put our path to kind of shoot over the camp. So let's bring it down low, real low. A little bit more. I think that's good. I think that's real good. Yes. I like it. It's not a bad orbit. So we'll swing around here. Get to that spot. 3-second burn too, so it's cheap. I like cheap burns. Alright. So warp ahead. Ooh, and it's daytime on that spot too, on the moon, so that's nice too. And start our burn. 3-second burn. Okay. That looks good. Now this is the part we gotta make a decision. Do we start descending right now? Or do we fix our orbit a little bit better? And I think this is sufficient enough to start descending. So we're not gonna worry about fixing our orbits. We're just gonna drop now. So as you can see here, I'm purposely overshooting the camp. Reason being is that the moon rotates underneath. I already explained this just like 15 minutes ago, but yeah, the moon rotates, so we have to take that into account as we fall. And it will, as we fall, the line will get closer to this crater, so that's why I'm purposely overshooting. So it might even go further, and that will give us wiggle room as we fall down. So let's see, let's warp ahead again. Oh, so you see that? How much it changed? We actually have to move that up ahead some more. So, probably just right there is what I would do. That gives us a good arch as well. Like, I almost want to just keep going a little bit further, and then we got some free fall and some retrogrades that we can do on the way down that won't affect it too much. And it'll place us right in the center of that crater. So Okay. I like to burn usually like 5 to 7 seconds before the maneuver node. Alright. Bam. It's a little overshot from what I had planned out in the trajectory, but I think it will work just fine, so. Alright, so I think we're going dead on to the camp, so that's good. So let's warp ahead. Let's take a look at where things are going. Probably down here is we'll start doing some more major burns. Like harder retrogrades. Let's see, let's keep doing it. So I want it to go maybe right there to the rim. So by the time we get there, things are going to move around some more. See that? And we're not moving that fast either. We're actually pretty slow. So I've come down on the moon maybe like at like 500 meters a second a couple times. That's tougher. Even 600. And you gotta slow yourself down all the way to like 10. I want to go even slower than 10. I want to bring it down to like 2 or 3 meters a second so we don't bounce off the surface like we did last time. Okay, getting closer. Got 13 seconds to the burn. We're gonna burn at like 5 seconds till. And go. Okay, so we brought down that speed to about half. So if we do a harder retrograde now, much harder, then we'll fall almost right on top of the camp. So I'm going to go a little bit further. Reason being is the rotation becomes less of a factor the closer we get. Unless we start moving really slow. Like very slow. At this speed, it's not as bad. Alright. So at 70 meters a second. At this point, we're definitely going to fall within the crater. So let's see here. Stop warping. Whew, that was a little scary. Hopefully, when I separate this, actually let's do a radial. Or just literally any other angle. There we go. We go back to our retrograde. Oh, you know what? We probably should have burned a little bit before we before we let that go. That would have slowed us down quite a bit. Oh, we're coming in fast. I think we'll be alright, though. We still have the RCS to assist us. Ah! There we go. Quite a bit slower. Slow. Okay, there we go. Coming down on retrograde. I hope we have enough fuel. Ooh. Come on. Bro, we're falling way too fast. Ah! What did we break this time? Something broke. Let's see, let's take a look. Stratus V Cylindrified unidentified monopropellant tank crashed. Oh. Let's see, a thruster block. And, okay, so we lost the thruster block and one of our monopropellant tanks. Which one? We lost the one on the right. And both of the back thruster packs. But aside from that, we, our rover is fine. So we're good. Not the best landing I've ever had, but it works. So let's start working our way toward the camp here. Oop, 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 there we go. Getting control of it. So at this point, I think what I'll do is I'm going to extend this smaller antenna. We're going to retract this one. Just for now. Oh, we still got pieces falling down? What is flying around? Anyways. So what we could start doing, if we wanted to, is start looking for some cool biome stuff. Now, I don't know what the moon biomes look like. In fact, I don't know what any of the biomes look like. I saw one video, one of the Kerbin biomes, and there's like a tree that you can like scan. But like that's about it. That's all I know. So here's our camp that we have set up. Oh my gosh. I think this rover needs a little bit of work. And now it's rotating. It seems to me that there's some stuff that needs to be worked on. But, yeah, so here's a camp. That is space junk that didn't explode on the way down. So unfortunately, it's just kind of sitting there next to our campsite. But, yeah, so this is it. And this rover is actually quite huge. I didn't realize how big it was. But alright, so let's start looking around for some cool stuff. That's what we sent it here for. Now, I think this is the ones that you just kind of drive through. Yeah. These ones don't do anything for us. So there's these newer ones that we can scan. I don't know if any of you guys know what they look like. At least for the ones on the Mun. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if this little guy is strong enough to get out of this crater, but it's certainly worth a shot if we wanted to keep going. What is this? MC. Oh, that's the flag. Okay. I was just wondering why I was glowing green. Now, if you guys see here, there's a bunch of parachutes on this guy. That's just for like our atmosphere missions. This rover can land in the atmosphere environments as well. Okay. So I heard. Now, this is just what I heard, but I heard you have to drive a little ways before you find something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for, to be honest. Hmm. We're gonna see if we can get out of this crater, though. Oh, 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 that looks different. Brakes, brakes. Slow down. I don't want to turn super sharp. Just for the fear of flipping this thing, because if it flips, then there's no saving it. It is toast. Is this one of the interactable ones? Oh, oh, let's back it up. Back it up. Okay, we have to be stationary. So let's get up close to it, and then we'll turn our brakes on. And we'll see how this works. Now, I don't know if this is one of the things that we can scan. No target in range. Oh, so this is not one of them. Okay. I don't know why it's rotating like that when it stops moving. Okay, so let's just keep looking. We got some smaller things over here. That might be something we can look at. I don't know. Let me know. Did you guys find any of the biomes for the moon yet, or what they look like? So I don't really know what I'm looking for. I see these little rocks here. That looks like the same as the other ones. Woo, we were flying. I don't know why. I wonder, let's turn off our reaction wheel back there. Toggle torque. Just disable it. Because it seems to be doing some weird stuff with the way we turn. We're also kind of floating a little bit. Oh, 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 careful, careful. Man, this guy's out of control. Oh, here it goes. Well, that's it. Mission scrubbed. I don't know if I can save it from that. See if maybe I can. I don't think I can though. Nope. Yeah, like I said, once it flips, it's kind of game over for this guy. Well, dadgum. Well, that was short-lived. But at least it got on the moon. There are some science things that we can try to do real quick. We can run some analyses and some log the gravity. Let's see, log temperature. But we can definitely make a better rover. Because this one, as cool as it is, it has a difficulty staying stable. It as you guys saw it, like it was flipping around. I don't think these tires are level. Like, let's see here. Yeah, they're not. This is higher. So we're gonna have to take that into account when we go back into the vehicle assembly. But I think I'm okay with just leaving this guy here on the moon, stranded. And I think we got everything that we need. So let's go ahead and send the data back. We're gonna use the other antenna. Where is it? There's a smaller antenna in here that I installed. Here it is. Transmit all the stuff. Okay. And it's gonna take a second because it's the cheaper antenna, but all these other antennas are kind of stuck underneath the rover here. So it's going to... They'll break if they try. That's what I'm saying. And... bam! We're good. So... we'll kiss this little guy goodbye. Forever. Oh. The antenna's gonna make an attempt. It's gonna break. Not enough electric charge, that's funny. Well, I wish I could flip it. I really do. I just can't. It's just stuck. So... how much battery you got? Where's our batteries at? I don't even remember where I installed them. Oh, they're on the top. That's right. So let's... maybe I can select it from the back. Nope. Come on. I believe. So what if we do... let's see. Can we do that? Oh. This looks promising. Hey! Not good enough though. Still stuck. Oh, and then we're out of monopropellant too now, so it's not going anywhere. It is dead in the water. But I think we got enough power now to transmit the rest of our data. So let's see here. Transmit everything. Everything we got. Not enough electric charge. Well, daggum. Alright, well, we're just gonna leave it then. Vehicle assembly. No, we're not gonna revert it. We're just gonna go back to the Space Center. We're gonna learn from our lessons. Learn from our mistakes. Because now we know that back tire is not level. So we'll just fix it here for future missions. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty solid. It just bounces a lot when it hits the ground. So let's see here. So that one was pretty level with the bar. And this one was the one that was a little bit off. Let's see here. They look almost right on from where I'm looking at here. Because it was saying before that this one was too high. Let's see here. If I do it like that. Okay. Bring this down. It looks better-ish. Not great. It's not level. It's not the same place like this guy here. I can see that. So let's see here. If I... So what if I just grab a new one? So let's go to the wheels. Try to line this up as best I can. Okay. Oh, but it's in the funny position. Let's see here. There we go. I'm trying to use the trusses here on the beams. as my reference point. I think that's good. I mean, I don't know how else I can do it. It was saying, yeah, that's about as close as I can get it. I'm gonna add those more powerful burner engines on probably on this side, so we can be able to flip ourselves. So I'll probably stick it here, and stick the other one over here. That hopefully will, and I'm only gonna do it on one end, so having all the blast on the one side on the tip, it'll hopefully, the idea is to flip it in case it gets stuck again. So we'll save that real fast. We're gonna go to the tracking station. I'm gonna destroy that little rover, 'cause that's gonna be annoying having this dead rover on the moon. So let's terminate this guy. You're done. And we'll try this again. There is a lot of space junk that we need to take care of. All over the place. Look at this. Moonlander debris. Oh, that's from the original landing, I believe. Yeah, because look, that's where the flag's at. It's in that tiny little crater. So, we'll worry about... Oh, it looks like there's a lot of debris there. It's all just hanging out right there? Okay. Okay. I'm kind of curious to see what it is. I want to see what it is. They're probably like something stupid like separatrons or decouplers. Yep, I was right. Just dumb stuff. Let's go back to the tracking station. We're gonna delete that. That's the kind of stuff you can't like recover or whatever in game. So we're just gonna get rid of it all. So long. Get rid of all that. Watch as I delete like something important. Alright. So the small trailer, that's a base. That shouldn't be a lander. Yeah, that's a base. We gotta rename this. There we go. That will make more sense. Okay, so let's go back to our place here. That looks good. Alright. Still a little bit of space junk floating around. Okay. Anyway. Let's, this is mostly cleaned up. We got some space junk right here, but we'll do some fun missions to, like, recover those ones. Did I delete the flag in the base? That seems like, whoops. Alright. I didn't realize I did that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's that annoying garbage that's next to our base camp, so let me get rid of that one. And I think we're ready. So let's let's try sending this rover. Actually, I don't want to send that rover. I want to send, I want to show you this other one. Let's do the blue rover. It's a much bigger build. And it's pretty cool too. Issue with this one right now is that it doesn't have any way to slow itself down in a non-atmospheric environment like the moon. So I fear that it's going to crash on the way down. That's my fear right now. So I think what we'll do, let's stick a I think that's gonna collide with stuff. So if we do the move tool, we'll bring this inside. That doesn't look too intrusive. I think that'd be fine. And then that'll give us some control over the direction, but if we look here, there's nothing on this thing to slow us down from crashing. There is fuel on this, so we don't have to add like those tiny little tanks like we did with the other one. So what we could do with this, we'll just add these burner engines on the bottom. Ah! And these little guys, hopefully, will allow us to slow ourselves down. I'm hoping this is enough thrust to pull off what I'm trying to do here. There's going to be no monopropellant on this build. So what we build here has to be done all off of the liquid fuel and the oxidizer type fuels. So I think I'm gonna move that one closer in, put the other burner engine there, and I think that's it. I don't know what else I could add. Maybe like 2 burner engines on the top. That one looks stupid though. I don't like it there. And I don't want to blow off our antenna with the burner engine either. Not a lot of good places to put it. I mean, there's a parachute. We can try sticking the chute on this spot. Put the burner engine there. I think, yeah, we can try that. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I feel like, I don't know. There's only one way to really know, and that's just to launch this thing up, so. We'll do, engines. This is gonna be a Rhino. I think what I'm gonna do here, though, because there's gonna have to be a descent stage. If there's gonna be no atmosphere, we need some kind of way to slow ourselves down. So we need a better upper stage engine with a smaller fuel tank. It's too small. Then we'll do... Yeah, we'll do that. Go to coupling. Throw on. It's gonna be kind of a messy. It's a messy upper stage, that's for sure. You could, if I wanted to, we could do this. That makes it less messy. Just means we have to make a bigger fairing. Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with making a bigger fairing. Let's edit. We'll just step backwards a bit. Just bring that up higher. There we go. Bam. The fairing's a little bigger, and then we got that cool little last stage there for our descent. Now, let's see here. So I'll stick that there. We're gonna need another decoupler. I think it's the 37, I believe. Yep. That looks good. This is quite a heavy payload. So I think what I'm gonna also do for that first stage, we're gonna make something a little bit more powerful. Let's see, go back to decouplers. So I could add it like this, and then add that really big bottom stage. Whoa, there we go. And then what we'll do here is just auto strut and make it root part. That should keep everything held together. I'm gonna grab these mastodons, stick them there, take off the cover, add oop. There we go. Add that on there. Oh my gosh. It really doesn't want to get on there. Stick. There we go. And then, as far as booster rockets go, you could add like those smaller, yeah, like these solid fuel booster rockets, but like a more powerful version. I don't know if there is a more powerful version. I think it's just the smaller variants. What's the fuel to weight ratio on these guys? They're okay. They're kind of the same as these other guys, these other little boosters. Very similar. Okay. We'll just do that. As far as... Yeah. I am gonna make these break off because they're unnecessary weight once they're done. So let's do some decoupling here. Okay. So let's get our staging correct here. So those are gonna start burning at the same time these guys start burning, so we gotta make sure that's good. And then when the boosters go out, those will pop off. And then the rest of this, there we go. What should start next is that engine. This guy, where are you at? So it should be this, and then that engine, there it is. So okay. Then next should be that decoupler in the top, yep. Then this engine, yep. Then the coupler, perfect. Now this is where we have another issue. I can see two decouplers in a row, which is incorrect. So So something's going. Oh, here, figured it out. There's just 2 decouplers. Okay, that's now simpler. So engine, decoupler. Next up would be the fairing. That should be on its own stage. Usually I kick the fairing way before we even reach this stage, but that's just like a fail-safe in case we forget to remove the fairing, which I don't think I will. So, alright. Yeah, I think we're good on the staging now. Let's take a look a little bit higher here. Are a few things that need to decouple on the front side. Oh, here we go. Alright, I see. So comes the fairing, engine, that decoupler, plus the separatrons. Oh, what's the other one? What am I looking here on the top? Oh, I see. That's the last one. So that will decouple plus the separatrons there. This is just for the atmospheric missions. So at this point, if we're sending this to the moon, it's just a waste of. We're basically wasting money. But I don't want to make 2 variants right now, so we're just gonna leave it. And we'll test this one out. Let's see if we can get this to land on the moon. Honestly, I think it's gonna fail. I think it's gonna explode into a million pieces. But I'd like it not to. Oh, I'm yawning. Sorry, apologize. Alright. I don't want to send Jebediah and Bill though. Hold on. Let's change that. Jebediah and Bill are not going on this mission. So let's kick them out. We'll send another pilot. Pilot. What we got here? Okay. Got a couple pilots down here. Send Leo. Then we'll send an engineer. So this Valrim. Valrim? Yeah, let's send Valrim. And let's change the suit colors too. And let's get a scientist on board. And then I think we're good. Or send one more scientist. One more scientist. There we go. Now we're ready. So let's save this. Overwrite. Yep. Send them all to the moon. All to the moon. Ugh. Let's stretch a little bit. Yes. Alright. I'm getting sleepy, you guys. My staging's messed up again. How did this happen? Let's do that. Okay. So let's fire these up. Alright. So far, this rocket looks pretty stable. That's good. It's quite the relief, actually. So we're not working with, well, that was funny. It's a good thing that those, decouplers are pretty far from the center of mass. So I kind of want to start gravity turning a little bit, but I'm scared because of how top heavy this payload is. But it looks like this rocket actually handles very well, so yeah. 1 point for happy accidents, I suppose. Okay. Oh, we're gonna flip. Don't flip, don't flip, don't flip, don't flip. Don't flip, don't flip. Get control of yourself. Maybe I can use the gimbal to... come on. Reaction wheels aren't taking over fast enough. Okay. I think we're good now. So let's circularize. And where's the mun? It's over there. So we'll probably do our burn over here on this side to reach the mun over here. A minute and 13-second burn. That's quite the burn. Oh. And our middle stage isn't gonna cut it. So we might have to do some re-engineering because it's not gonna reach. So I would even start burning even sooner, like right here. Like instead of 5 seconds before the node, I would start burning maybe like 10 or 15 seconds. In fact, I'm probably just gonna do 15, just for the amount of time to switch between stages. But I don't think this is gonna actually make it, because this is just, we're just trying to circularize here. So, alright, so it's pretty clear that this rocket needs more strength to get to the moon. Because as it stands right now, it's I don't think it's strong enough. I think we would just kind of get halfway to the mun, and even if we got to the mun, we have to circularize around it and then land on it and not crash. All of those things require a lot of fuel that I don't think we have, because we're gonna have to tap into this final stage here, and I just don't think there's enough in this final stage to do all those things, unless we do some really crazy good flying, which I don't think we're gonna end up pulling off. So it's just gonna be decent flying, not crazy good flying. Alright, so we'll stop burning again. So we're already halfway through that final stage, and all we did was circularize around the Kerbin. I don't think it's gonna be enough to get us to the mun. I just don't think it's enough. So we can keep going. Oh look, see that? But it's not enough. We're not gonna make it. It's a 23-second burn. And then we'd have to circularize around it. So I'm trying to find what we can do that's cheaper. That would be hard. I'm trying to get around it, not in front of it. Like around the back. So probably right there, that's the one. And yeah, 22 seconds is just not enough. So this won't be able to reach the mun. It's I think that's clear now. But we can try it. Do our best shot. But really, this rover is meant to land on Duna. I've designed this for a Duna mission, which I want to start doing here soon. So as soon as we're done with all of our moon missions, we're gonna start going for Duna and making a Duna camp. Okay, I'm just gonna start burning. We're not gonna be able to pull off everything on this. The full plan maneuver, because there's just not enough fuel. We'll dump that stage and we'll just start burning with that. What was supposed to be our descent stage. Oh. Oh. And there's some mess ups in our staging too. So now we're definitely not gonna make it back. But if we wanted to, we can test out. This is a good opportunity to test out the way this thing is gonna land. So we can inflate the shield. Let's see here. Oh wait, we're not gonna even. Never mind. Let's see here. Or if I did like a radial, I believe. I need the bottom to face. Let's see here. I need the bottom to face a retrograde position, like so. We might be able to orbit ourselves using just this. Oh, we're ah man. So let's see. Let's flip it around. We're doing it in the wrong direction. We did it here, then tried it. Might be able to. Nah, that's gonna take too long. I'm not doing that. Forget that noise. All right. So there's clearly something wrong with the staging up here. I did something wrong. So here, this should have broke off, and it did not. Why didn't it? So when that happens, this should be breaking off, but why didn't it break off like it was supposed to? That's the mystery. Because this engine stops, and this breaks off, and then these Separatrons take this away from the car. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong. However, we do need to change a few things. First and foremost, I'm going to break this off. And we're going to break this off. And we're going to add a much bigger first stage. Because it's pretty obvious to me now that it needs a much bigger stage. Let's see if I did this. That's got some kick to it. Hey, that's the name, Kickback. And if we brought this up higher, all of that fun stuff. The auto struts, let's do root part. And then we'll add the aerodynamic cones here. I'm actually, let me think here. If it's gonna be that big, we might as well just get the couplers and bring them really close to the core. Bring them super close. That looks centered. Alright. That looks good. So we'll just bring this down a little lower. Bam. On the struts, let's see, roots part. And I think we're good. Let's just make sure these all are going off at the right times. And that nothing stupid is gonna happen. Okay. Then that second stage, bam, bam, bam. So I gotta figure out what happened at this final stage here. And it happened. It looks good. I don't know, cause there's the engine, and then the decoupler and the separatrons. So I'm not sure what happened. We're just gonna go again like this and find out, cause I don't know any other way to do that. So let's send this up. Oh, let's save it first and then send it up. Okay. Look at their worried faces, except for Meldum over here. He looks fine, but Leo has to drive, so he's like, oh jeez. Whew. All right. So far the first stage looks good. We're just a little bit slow. We may have to make some different boosters. Something a little bit more powerful. So far so good. And the rocket itself handles very well, even with a top-heavy payload. So it turns very nicely. So the rocket's a good build. It's a good rocket. And the payload seems to be evenly, or at least the mass and the weight of the payload seems to be evenly distributed. Okay. The boosters come off nice. They do crash and kill each other on the way down, but that's fine. It doesn't affect our actual launch here. Let's see, how are we doing on our ascent? It's a little slow. So I think that first stage still needs more kick. But we still have a ton of fuel too that we're burning to get higher. Okay, so we're raising above our Sputnik line, which means that's where the atmosphere begins and ends. And I think that's good. So let's start circularizing. So we do have a first stage, that's good. Going as high as we are. We can use some of that fuel to help us circularize here. It definitely won't, it won't finish, but that's okay. So let's dump this fairing. That'll help with some of the weight. Alright, I'm waiting for this to reach the maneuver node. And then we're gonna warp. I just want to make sure we have enough time to get into position for our next burn. And at this point is when we're gonna find out what adjustments we need to make to our rocket. So far, so good. Okay, we're in position now, so let's just warp ahead. Okay, start burning. It looks like a first stage can do quite a bit of our circularization burn, which is nice. That's good. I did start the burn a little late though. So we're gonna have a little bit of a wonky orbit. Okay, so let's dump that first stage and start the second one right away. And add a little bit of a radial burn to this one. Just to help us, yeah. There you go. That's all we need. We don't need to go any more than that. That is perfect. Let's see, and then the moon's over there, so we are going to see, let's add a maneuver here. Because it's going to swing around, so we want to catch it. Let's see here. It's not enough, so we're going to go a little bit stronger with our probe raid here. Ooh, it's an expensive burn though. Oh, too much. So as far as I can tell, if I bring this up a little higher, then maybe reduce this retrograde a bit. No reason to go all out like that. But we still need to swing around the moon. So I'm trying to go around it, but I don't want to miss it either. Ugh. Excuse me. Alright. I think that's good. There's a little bit of a curve. We'll be alright. We are swinging underneath it though. It's annoying. I was hoping I can get it to not do that. Oh well. Not that important. Okay, so let's warp to our position here. And our middle stage is gonna get us to the moon, which is nice because it's not gonna be used for circularizing. It's gonna actually take us to the moon. This should be enough fuel. So I'm happy. I don't know about the circularization and the descent as far as fuel goes. Um, it's still going to be a tight budget. Let's try this again. Okay. So zoom out here. Make sure our planned trajectory is on point. That looks good. It looks like we're almost on a collision course from over there, but we're not. Alright, so let's fly ahead. Everything is looking dandy. I'm really glad there's a pilot on this thing because I forgot to extend the antenna, so we would have lost the drone at this point had we been doing things the way we're doing it. So let's see here. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is actually a good orbit to have because it's pretty close to where the camp is at already. So that works out in our favor. It certainly wasn't planned on my part. I'm not that great of a flyer. I'm decent, but I'm not that good. So I'm no Scott Manley. So let's warp ahead now. So we're in position. Skip ahead those 34 minutes. Jeez, that's a long flight. All right. Okay. I'm glad that the middle stage that we're using is what we're using to circularize. So I'm actually pretty excited about it. We might actually, this might be a successful mission. It's the landing that I'm worried about. So, like, I designed this to land on Duna. So make the little makeshift changes that we did. I don't know if they're gonna actually work. So we'll find out here in a second. But so far so good. Like, getting to where we want to be seems to be fine. But like I said, this thing was meant to land in Duna, not the Mun. But I just decided last minute to, like, hey, why not? Let's try this. So let's see here. I could, if I wanted, I can cut it really close right here. Maybe even have the periaps hover above the camp. There we go. Still in orbit. It's just a scary one because of how close we are to the surface. But that might get us to land on the camp. Alright. So, we are just gonna be like, just zooming across the land, like, really close, like above mountaintops, like, just nicking boulders. Not literally, but it's close. It's not too far from that. Let's warp ahead. Man, I really feel like some pizza right now. Oh well. Get pizza tomorrow. Get pizza another time. But it does sound good right now. Alright. Hope I didn't make any of you guys hungry, by the way. I probably did now that I'm thinking about it, but... Okay. Bam. Oh, you know what? It's not perfectly over the camp. So it won't work perfectly, but we can make a few changes to our flight here. So we're about 55 seconds from that one. So if we did a few changes to our tilt, that looks cool. That is very cool. Just make sure when we retrograde, don't fall back on the moon. I don't want to hit it. Oh, did we pass it? No, we did not. Okay, so let's switch over to our maneuver node. Oh, that is a collision course. That won't work. Just up a little higher. There we go. There we go. It's very close to the ground, though. Very close. Like, scary close. People on this flight are going to be freaking out. But the idea is to be this close above the surface. We'll be moving really fast, so when we get to that part... Oh, it's time to burn. But when we get to this part here, the only thing we're going to have to do is just retrograde. A really easy retrograde. Like so. I'll probably purposely just overshoot it a bit, but like, that's all we would need to do. Like, it's really simple, actually. Like, that's it. And then we just fall on the crater. It's the landing that I'm worried about because this, like I said, it's not made for atmosphere. I mean, it's made for atmosphere. It's not made for a non-atmospheric landing. All I did was make a few little adjustments that I'm not even sure if they're gonna work. So this is just like a jerry-rigged thing that we got going here. One thing we can do is once we start to retrograde, we can dump this, because this is useless. This is just for atmospheric landings, like I said, to keep our whole little thing here safe from reheating. Okay, let's warp ahead now. It's gonna be a minute because of how close we are to the surface. It's gonna make us slow down any second now. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, we are close. Like, look how we were just skimming across the ground like. Okay, let's slow this down just a bit real quick. Crew report. Yep. We should send the transmission. There we go. Very good. And we're not even at the periap, so we're actually gonna get a little closer to the ground where we're at here. Which is funny. Okay. Should have crossed our periaps now, and we're gonna move our maneuver node because the ground rotates beneath us. Oh, you know what? That looks like a bit of a problem. Nothing it can't fix. I don't want to land completely right on the camp. I just want to land in the crater. There we go. So 24-second burn. We have to slow ourselves down quite a bit. And I'm just trying to decide if maybe we should get our deep space gateway space station to have an orbit this low. Because that would be really easy to rendezvous with for back and forth missions with this camp. So we could make our space station super low like this. Alright, getting close. 28 seconds, that's our stop down there. Yeah, so this is cool. So we can make some easy maneuvers if we were this close to the crater with our space station that we want to build, so I'm down for this. So let's start our burn right about. Let's do it now. Then we'll dump that. Oh, see this is the problem right here. What is going on here? It's backwards. Well, dadgum. Jettison the shroud, activate the engine. Well, I'm not sure if that's gonna slow us down. There we go, now we'll slow down. But we're missing our mark. Let's just go full retrograde at this point. I don't know if, that's gonna be a long... Quite the fall. Been there, easy. Yeah. Puya, how you doing? Yeah. That's, we gotta save the rest of this field for our descent. We can, however... Which stage is this? So we'll bring this down one. We'll jettison this extra piece, we don't need it. That's just for atmospheric landings. So we'll say goodbye to that. Holy crap, that thing's a monster. Okay. That is not deadly at all. It's probably gonna shake itself to pieces here soon. That's funny. Anyway. back to our descent. Uh, Now we're completely missing our mark. And oh well. That's all I can say. Oh, stuff's exploding around us. What's going on? Did that thing rip itself to pieces yet? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna keep it at around 70 to 80-ish. But we're still gonna be a little tight on our fuel budget here. Now, had this been an atmospheric landing, we would have had this made in the shade, but not today. Oh boy. Okay. I'm thinking here. This is what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna let this land on the thruster. Just for the reason that it's gonna cushion the fall a little bit. There we go. Not so bad. And we're gonna have that. Oh. So that's the way we're gonna fall. So we're gonna let it fall this way. There we go. Look at that. Did it. So let's turn off that thruster, turn on our brakes. Then we will jettison this back piece. Oh my gosh, we destroyed the radiator. God. Easy clap, easy clap. Well, it was a success. However, the radiator broke. So we won't be able to do any mining. At least no successful mining. If we choose to not. That sucks. That sucks a lot, man. Sucks big time. And I don't remember where if I F5 before I did that landing. So it's a big question. I don't know how far back it'll take me. However, aside from not being able to mine very well, yeah, we could try it. I don't know when the quick save is. Let's see. I got one right here. Day 20 or 21. Let's see. It's the most recent one. I don't know, man. I can't remember if I quick saved or not. I thought I did, but I don't know. Should we try it? I'm kind of scared. Let's do it. We'll find out how far it put us back. Okay. We just jump to the tracking station. What kind of damage did we do? Anybody? Oh, there's not even a base camp on the moon. At least I don't see it. Oh no, we're good. There it is. We're good. We're good. So let's get back to our flight. However, gotta take into account that there's that mess up in the staging that I did. I forgot to put the fairing underneath the decoupler. So that's gonna be a problem. See this right here. This son of a gun is messing everything up. Alright, so let's work on our descent here again. I should probably do this a little bit sooner, because I know for a fact that stupid cover is messing us up. So maybe right there. Because I have to blow off that stupid cap. OMG, so many satellites. I need to launch some satellites. Oh yeah, I'll show you the satellites here. Basically, these are CubeSats. They're like really small satellites, and that they all popped off of a much bigger mothership that I made in an earlier stream. And yeah, so the mothership just went around the planet in different trajectories, and I just kind of dropped off these smaller CubeSats. And yeah, kind of like the ones that SpaceX did just last week. But it helps with drone missions a lot because there's some blind spots on low Kerbin orbit. So if you're really low on the Kerbin orbit, you're gonna hit a blind spot, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose control of your drone. If you have the settings on like the way I do, I play if you don't have a signal, you'll lose control of your drone. So I think this is just more realistic to me. So let's start making our burn here. Alright, alright. Oh, oh, oh. Follow that. Follow that. There we go. Dump that stage. Start the next stage. Burn off the stupid cap. Hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up. Burn off the cap. Here we go. Come on. Oh my gosh, is it not burning it off? Okay. Ah, that's annoying. It's too late to revert flight, too. Daggum. I have to remind myself to fix that for these future things. Also, I need to take into account that these little Separatrons, they destroy the radiator. So let's see, let's go to retrograde. Unless it's just hitting it. The separate decoupler. So good grief. There's definitely been better missions than this. More successful. Alright. I think I'm gonna turn this way because it looks like if we fall forward, that's the way it's gonna fall. I'm gonna bring this down because there's no reason to be hauling that much weight. It's just for atmospheric landings, which is what this is for, which I mentioned like 5 times already. Alright, so we're gonna be almost straight down. Trying to figure this out. Which way are we gonna fall? I think we're gonna tilt this way, so let's rotate the car that way. I'm trying to decide. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe we won't fall that way. We're gonna fall the other way. I don't even know. Let's just wait. Let's just land it. And we'll figure it out in a second here. Okay. Now, which way are we tilting? We're tilting this way. Alright. Let our RCS save us from a violent landing. And then we're in F5 right here. Oh, can't quick save while all this is going on. Alright. So, we need to save the radiator. So we're gonna F5 here. And we're gonna figure this out somehow. I'm wondering. Let's see here. I'm not sure what piece here broke the radiator. It could be this. I hope not. There we go. So we'll just take off the brake, like so. Yes. We did it. Now we got working a working rover. So we'll start running over to base camp now. That's right. This wasn't even meant to land on the moon. but we made it land anyway. Alright, and this thing's carrying a lot of, like, camp equipment, like, tons. We got this thing loaded. And basically, like I said before, this is meant for a Duna mission. So, we were going to make a colony there. Still are. But this is like a good little test. You know, it's like a good test. I like it. So, I think I'm going to add some red brake lights in the back here for the future ones I send around. And some headlights, because there's none of that with these, with this guy here. But so far so good. You know what, let's extend this antenna to get some constant communication with Kerbin. And I don't remember if I added any science nodes on this thing. Nope. Like next to nothing really. But that's okay. The future ones will be better equipped. But for now, this one was a good test. And we got it on the moon, safe and sound. Not the first time, but on the second try. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Brakes. Slow down. Come on. Why are you so stubborn? We're picking up speed too. I never tried mining in KSP. Is it worth it? Kind of. It takes a really long time to, what's the word? To fill the tanks. And also the convertitrons take a long time. But it's also kind of fun. So it's not really much of a, like, is it worth it kind of thing. It's more like a, can you pull it off? Sometimes I like to, like, fill up these little tanks and then bring them back to Kerbin as a challenge, which I kind of want to do, still. Like, make a little mining bot and bring back ore for science. Just to show that, just to prove myself that I can do it. But, you can also, like I said, you can convert it to fuel. There's already plenty of fuel in this thing that these, mining kind of features that I put into this car are not needed. But I've also, like, equipped this car for, like, further away missions. Like Jewel, where the solar panels aren't as effective anymore. Because if you notice this car here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, there's not a lot of solar panels. I only got these 4 on here. So I wanted a car that was, like, focused on just fuel. So it's like a fuel-driven car. And I'll show you what I put in the back here. Let me show you my engine. I have fuel cells back here to fill up the battery whenever we need to. There are these, what do you call those things? The RT whatevers? RTG. Yeah, RTG. So there are RTGs on this car, but sometimes when you're driving, the RTGs don't recharge the car fast enough. So that's where this fuel cell comes in right here. It takes fuel from up here, converts it into power, and then everything's hunky-dory. However, if you need, like, more fuel quicker or whatever, then that's when I had this little mining guy right here set to mine and convert ore into fuel. So, and this is very power consuming, and so you need fuel to kind of power the whole thing. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it can run forever. It's just that if you're far away, you're gonna have to keep recharging. I don't know if you ever saw the Martian, how he had that rover, how you had to keep making stops to recharge the battery. That's what this would have to do if I didn't add this fuel feature into it. So for now, it can just go for basically forever. It can pull off whatever we need it to do. So yeah, It's a cool little car, but also we got the radiator. This opens up. This is the perfect amount to keep this drill right here cool. And yeah, so, but for right now, we're not gonna drill anything, so we're just gonna pull it in and call it good. So we're gonna save. Oops, I'm gonna F5 right now, and I'm gonna show you my CubeSats. This is the CubeSats, all the satellites I put up into space. All right, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you. I'll show you. So, all of this, this is my CubeSat army. This gives me enough coverage everywhere I go to make sure all my drones have a signal. And so let's click one right now. So this is a CubeSat. So there will be no drone without a signal. These little guys right here, very basic, nothing fancy about them. They do have thruster packs. They're kind of squished in there, if you can see that. Thruster packs that go all the way around here. But yeah, so they got a little bit of science, a little bit of whatever that they can do. But there you go. And they don't have any SAS, so you have to fly them manually, which is fine. But in this case, the point is to drop them off at an orbit that that they're just gonna hang out in. I'm trying to see if I can find it. There's a mothership. Nope, that's not it. But there is a mothership in a polar orbit around Kerbin right now. It carries all of our little CubeSats. Carries 8 CubeSats. So let's see here. Oh, I know which one it is. It's this one. It's the one that's all by its lonesome right here in this funny orbit. There we go. Much better. Alright, so this is the mothership. And as you see here, on all of these spots, once was a CubeSat. And the little CubeSat right here would just pop off, and as soon as it did, we would change trajectory and shoot somewhere else, and once we change the orbit, it would pop off another CubeSat, and we'll just leave that CubeSat there to float around, and there you go. Let's see. Puya. Damn, I thought I need to put those satellite dishes on them. It would be easier to launch them with the design you have. Pretty compact. Yeah, it's way compact. This one could be even more compact, the mothership. But I didn't. It's not compact at all. It's huge. But yeah, the little guys, they're pretty tiny. I think I don't know what their size is compared to like a Kerbal, but I think it's the size of a Kerbal. In fact, let's go back to our space center here, and we can figure this out right now. We have those little those chairs that the Kerbals sit on. They're not much bigger than those chairs. So we can take a look here real quick. Let's take a quick little look-see. But yeah, I went with the compact design because I was pretty inspired by what SpaceX was doing. So let's open up the CubeSat mothership. Alright, this is obviously an overpowered rocket, and the reason I have it overpowered like this is I was going to send this a little bit further out into a different planet, like Duna, so I can have coverage all the way around it so my drones don't lose signal. But here you go. Here's my CubeSats, and they just pop off right here at these decouplers, and then they just live the rest of their life in this specific orbit. And then this mothership here has enough fuel to change its trajectory quite a few times around the planet, so long as you circularize with this final stage. So let me think here. Where's that chair? Here we go. So see, here's our size comparison. If I can get the camera to zoom up to it a little bit better. Let's see, come on, camera. There we go. So if you see here, Kerbal will fit in that chair, so it's not... It's still bigger than a Kerbal. And it's a lot bigger than the real life miniature CubeSats that have been sent out today, or last week, and then the ones that were sent on a flyby mission to Mars. But, obviously, like, those ones are only, like, the size of, like, a cell phone, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so this one, it's huge, but, I mean, you can only do so much on Kerbal Space Program. I think, like, this is one of the smallest, bits that we can use. Then there's this one. You can try making some CubeSats out of this. That would be an even extra compacted design. So if you can make one with that, I would be impressed. But yeah, there's a couple of other... No, not that one. That's way too big. What am I... Nope. But yeah, I don't know if there's a smaller one. I think that's the smallest you can get. But I used this. This is the design I used. And I created a little compacted design around it. But yeah. So maybe on the next one, I'll use this and make it even smaller. But yeah. So let's see. Let's go back to our tracking station here. I wanted to launch that, or land safely that other rover, but I crashed it a few times. It's just not very good at landing on the Mun right now, so it needs some adjustments, to say the least. But yeah, so that's kind of the setup I got going right now. We're going to start making some missions once we're done with our moon missions here. Like I said, I was gonna put the Deep Space Gateway pretty close to a low orbit here, and I wanted it to be in an orbit where it flies across the camp. That way we can rendezvous with it pretty quick and pretty easily. This guy is just the leftovers of our first moon mission. I'll show you here. But it's actually kind of funny what happened. We had a bit of a dilemma. We ran out of fuel almost, and this little guy kind of lost control. And so we decided to just fly our Kerbals across using their RCS packs to the other ship, because this thing wasn't rendezvousing correctly. And yeah, so fun little harrowing story, but yeah. This was supposed to be the Apollo style mission, which it kind of was still. We just didn't redock on the moon because of that. But we got really, like, we got up close to it, and there you go. So I would like to deorbit this thing. There's enough fuel in this guy to deorbit. However, it would it does not have any drone capabilities, or what's the other word? Yeah, I can't remote pilot this thing. It's basically what I'm saying. The only way to make this go away, obviously the tracking station, but I want to get rid of this a different way. So throwing out the tracking station is an option. You can either fly a new ship there, put a Kerbal in it, and deorbit it, and hopefully you can save that Kerbal from such a stunt. Or you can send like a small remote drone with the Clampatron, with the claw, grab onto it and just deorbit it that way. And it would be a suicide mission for that poor little drone, but it would be cool. So, yeah, let's see. Puya says, yeah, once I had my lander bounce off like crazy when I made contact with the docking port. Yeah, so, about that. There's a glitch in the game. If you don't line up just perfectly in the way that the game wants you to line up, it will come together, and it looks like it's gonna connect, and then it'll be like, boom, right? So like it's a little crazy. It'll throw you off, but yeah. So good point, but yeah, so it's a tough one. So we weren't able to dock with this guy because of these glitches, but there you go. It was still a fun mission. It worked out, but we do have some we do have some space junk floating around that we're gonna have to take care of soon. So in fact, what I could do, let's do that now. Let's do this as the last thing for the night. Let's make a drone. We're gonna grab onto that um, moonlander, what's left of it, and we'll take off. So we'll do the suicide mission. We probably should make this save this one too. Let's see. Let's call this the garbage truck ship. Garbage truck ship. Puya. Yep. Yeah. There's just an annoying little glitch. There's nothing we can really do about it. All right. So we're gonna use this one. Because it's pretty good. Actually, let's see here. This one's like the best one. And it does come with reaction wheels. So maybe we'll do that instead. There we go. So we'll do this. We'll add a coupling. Let's do the Clampertron. And this little guy will grab onto the what do you call it? The lander and then deorbit. So next we're gonna need, we're gonna need a power source. Very important, the power source. This one sucks. No, actually no, it's not that one. This one sucks. The Z200, I hate this one. I'd rather use this Z400 because it holds way more power, and I'm not sure if we're gonna need that much power, but it's a lot. Let's see here. There we go. Add that reaction wheel. That'll be more than enough for a little ship like this. We're gonna need a mode of communication. So in this case, maybe, oops, not that many antennas, that's too much. So we'll add this guy here. Yeah, that'll be alright. There's also a lot of coverage thanks to all of our satellites. In fact, let's not put such an expensive piece of equipment, since this is a suicide mission for our little drone here. We'll do this. There's plenty of yeah, that looks better. There's plenty of signal coverage in our little Kerbin orbit because of the CubeSats that I've placed. That looks annoying. It's a little annoying. I don't like it when it does that. Let's see. What if I do this? It's a little better. Yeah, it's much better. I mean, it would have worked the way I had it, like, hidden. Just make sure nothing is overlapping. I hate when it does that. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not, in my mind. So let's see, auto strut. Let's do the root part. Keep this guy nice and stable. We're gonna add a tiny little fuel supply. Nope, that is too much. Need something smaller. Smaller. Let's try this one. So this guy, yes. This might actually look better with an orange tank. There you go. I like it. Next we're gonna add a small engine. Something like this. In fact, let's do it like that. That looks cool. Can we all agree that looks cool? Maybe, maybe not. Nah, we'll keep the shroud on there. I like it. Maybe we'll maybe we'll leave it like that. Nah. The whole thing. Let's put the whole thing. Next up, let's add some. Let's see, utility. I'm gonna add some lights for the kicks and giggles. Plus, it'll look cool when we come in to catch our trash heap that we're trying to rendezvous with. So let's see. Let's bring that in. Rotate. And do a little bit more movement here. I'm gonna rotate again. I actually want this to... Whoa! No, not that one. I want it to be facing the spacecraft a little bit. And then... maybe... I think that's good. That's alright. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's good enough for me. Let's turn the lights on. There we go. Yes. That looks cool. Is there anything on this that I'm gonna need? So we got the Clampertron. We got remote control. Got the power source. We got the reaction wheel. Oh, we don't have a, I mean, I guess we have power storage, not a power source. So let's add some power sources on here. What kind of power source are we gonna do? We can put solar panels if we want. That's kind of cool. Something like that. Maybe also... I want the long ones. It's Model B. So if these guys extended, it would look like something like this. And that would be more than enough to power it. Yeah. I like that. It looks cool, actually. So here's our trash heap. This is going to clean up our orbits. Make it safe for everyone. So let's retract that. And I think that's it. Is that all we need? I think that's all we need. Is there anything on here that we're gonna want? Oh. Yep. Thruster blocks. And monopropellant. So, we'll place a thruster block here. And, oh, we can't place them there. I was hoping we can add it in one more spot. Because if we just put it there, it's going to be a little bit tougher. It's going to swing the ship around a little bit. Maybe if I put it here, that should be a little bit better. And if I did that there, and then rotated them to be just straight on, there we go. And then brought them in. I don't know about the back ones, but at least the left and right is what I'm worried about. That's the only thing I care about. So I think that's good. So now let's add the monopropellant. So let's go to our fuel tanks. Monopropellant. Now what kind of tank are we gonna put on this thing? Put a monopropellant tank like this. It's probably more than it'll ever need. It's a lot of monopropellant, actually. Yeah, let's just roll with it. Throw that on there. Or we can do smaller ones. Like that. That actually kind of looks cool. Not gonna lie, I like it. I like both of them. So I honestly don't know which one I should go with. They look cool. Okay. I think this is good. We'll just do this. And, I was gonna see if we can change any other colors on that. So let's start working on our coupling. Coupling. No, nope, nope, nope. Is that the one? That's the one. Let's not mess up our staging here. Which I need to remind myself to fix. Is this what I need? There we go. That's probably the perfect fairing size, to be honest. Bam. We'll make an orange fairing. Make it look cool. This is the garbage truck one. We'll do a... Let's see here. We want a small engine, or small tank. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. Something like this. And then with our engines, we'll pick this. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Does this come with fuel? What's all the... I don't think it does, but it looks like it kind of does, doesn't it? I guess it's just the shroud. Okay. So we'll do coupling. Throw that on there. That'll make it tons lighter. Nah, that won't work. There we go. Cool. Then now there is one more engine that we can try before we throw that one on there. 125 kilonewtons in the vacuum. There's this guy. Oh, it's too big. It's gonna make it look funny. Now let's not worry about it. Let's just put this one back on. Then we'll add a slightly bigger tank here. And engines. There we go. Hopefully, let's see if that messes up that shroud. Nope. Nice. Trying to keep the black and white off of there. Okay. Wish there's a way to also change the color. Tank butt. Oh, I see. Oh, it makes it smaller. Well, if it's smaller, then it's a better rocket. So we got a final stage, middle stage. Actually, that's technically the final stage. This will last a long time. I guess that's final stage to get to its destination, and this is just maneuvering fuel at that point. So let's see here. Let's raise this up. This is already a pretty sweet rocket. Let's grab a bigger tank. Like this. Make it orange. Nope. Oh, you know what? We could do this. Like so. And then add this. Now we're gonna add I already have one of those up there, don't I? So let's not do that. It's gotta be a little bit of a bigger rocket. Probably this one. Now, now this on its own, it's already a very powerful rocket. Like, this guy will get basically anywhere. 37. I guess it's the 25. Okay, so we're gonna put one final tank on the bottom here as our bottom stage. That's the orange engine, or the orange tanks, alright. Is there a better look? Did they not change the ugliness of that? Can't they just add some green? They've done so many textures. Alright. Let's see, engines. Engines. You could add this on the bottom. It's a massive first stage though. I don't like it. Could do this. Or this. This will look better. And not so hideous. Because it's got those cool little textures there. I'm okay with that. I like that. That's terrible though. That's better. So let's see. Auto strut. Root part. Let's add some root parts on this to make sure everything's connected. And then should I add any other boosters to this? It really doesn't need it though. This rocket is actually a really good rocket. Let's see here. You could add some of these wings. Looks ridiculous. You know what? I think this is good. This is quite efficient as it is. So we'll launch this up. Here, I'm gonna let my cat in the door real fast. Come on, kitty. Alright. My cat's gonna hang out with us. So, his name's Lincoln, by the way. I didn't check the staging, which was kind of stupid, but I mean, by the simplicity of the rocket, I think we'll be okay. So let's launch that up. Maybe I should put some boosters on this just to get it up into the air faster. But it is a very good rocket. It's flying well. Let's see, is it wiggly? Does it wobble? It does wobble a bit. Revert flight, vehicle assembly. Don't know about that. Let's see here. Auto strut. This is the heaviest part, yep. And then auto strut here. Root part. I think that'd be okay. Let's do that. And this can be root part. Then we'll save it, launch it. So I saw it bending a little bit, and if it does that, then your rocket's gonna have cracking problems and it's gonna shake itself to pieces. Okay. Oh, I didn't put boosters. Gosh. Oh well. There should be plenty. I mean, it's got 4 stages. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one inside. Okay. Kind of seems to shimmy a little bit. I'm not sure what's up with the shimmying. But the wobble is gone, so that's good. Ooh. But it can't tip over very much on the gravity turn. That might be a problem. I don't know, we'll see. Okay. How's our trajectory looking? Looks good. Let's dump that first stage. Start making some circularization maneuvers. Holy smokes. There we go. We're just... It's gonna take us just barely out of the atmosphere. Like, almost not enough. So we'll do it like that. We'll do a little bit of a burn. There we go. Oh, shoot. Gosh. I prematurely engaged that middle stage. Oh well. Let's fix this. We can fix this. Also, while we're here, before I forget, I do want to add something to that first stage. Some coupling. Right here. And we're gonna get the skinny tanks right there. If there's a skinnier one, I don't think there's a skinnier one. I think that is the skinniest. Yeah. That is the skinniest you can get. So let's grab those. There's that tank, and there's that guy. So what I want to do here... at least what I was thinking with this thing. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit the engine. It's not gonna work. It would look dang cool though. But I wanted to add like a vector engine on the bottom of these. I guess we can still do it, like if we just did it like this. I just don't want it. And then we're gonna lock it, the gimbal, because the gimbal is gonna overcorrect way more than what we need. So, well, that looks a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. Not completely sure how I felt about that one. This is better though. Here we go. That's better. Much better. That looks cool too. And it's gonna be really powerful. I probably should add some separatrons to that because I feel like the way this coupling here is on the top is gonna hit our middle or our quarter stage here. So we'll add these. Making mistakes. Okay. There we go. And let's add those to the coupler. So let's bring that down. And these guys are going to be sharing space with those stages. That's going to share space with the separatrons. I think we're good. So let's save it. Then we'll launch. I've been wanting to make a garbage truck mission anyway, so this will be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, let's launch this up. 3, 2, 1. Ah, yes. This is locked, right? Yeah, it's locked. That's what I want. At this point, I'm too scared to do a gravity turn. We're moving pretty fast, actually. But it's awesome. Okay. Let me just pop those seconds off. And then we can start gravity turning. And there we go. Yeah, those boosters did a lot. They were very powerful boosters. I like custom making my own boosters just because you can get a lot of power out of them if you do it right. Okay, how's that? Oh, much better. Look at that. That's a good arch. Alright, so let's dump this. And then we'll start working on this circularization. We did get a little funny tilt going on here, so that's annoying, but that's also not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. So let's... That looks good. Kind of center that a little bit. Why not? Doesn't have to be perfect, but I just made it perfect on purpose for no reason. So let's see, let's kick the fairing now. No need to keep it around. And so we'll warp ahead. Now this is going to be like a rendezvous mission with space junk, basically. Okay. About 5 seconds till the maneuver node, we'll just start burning. Right now. Oh. There we go, right now. A little later than I wanted, but that's okay. It's A-okay. So let's do our action groups. Oh, I guess I didn't put them on action group. My bad. You can still do this. Just so we can ensure that we have power in the reaction wheels. There we go. Now we're gonna run out of fuel on this. That's okay. We just blew that up. Okay. Perfect. Now that we're circularized, let's start making our maneuver toward the moon. We got periapse right here, that's gonna be nice. And, alright. I just wanted to get really close up there. There we go. I want it to wrap around the back end of the moon. Kind of like, almost like a slingshot. Like if you were trying to make a slingshot maneuver. But we're not going to slingshot. We're going to get really close, and then we're going to use this periapse to slow ourselves down. Make our maneuvers more efficient, so we got a 28-second burn. I'm not sure if this guy's gonna have the capacity to pull off this mission. It's gonna be interesting. We'll find out. By capacity, I mean like the amount of delta V. I think it might, because we still have 2 more stages. We're gonna use almost like 2 more stages after this stage. We got this stage and we got this stage. So it might be able to pull it off. And those last 2 stages, they can go for a while. So let's start burning. This is our burn toward the moon. Now we're gonna run out of fuel right here, so we're gonna have to cut our cut into the other stage just a little bit. But it does look awesome. I love this little guy already. Okay. Now these are the fuel efficient stages, so hopefully we can pull off our mission with what we got here. I think we can, because there's quite a bit going on here. Okay. So now, Check that off. Ugh. And we'll warp ahead. Let's make our maneuver first before we do that, though. So we're gonna retrograde. Ooh, too much retrograde. Too much, too much. There we go. And then... Yes. Okay, so we'll start warping. Warping. Look at that. See that little spinning thing? That's our space junk that we're gonna get rid of. It's our garbage truck. Is gonna get rid of it. So warp closer, please. And then there's our camp. So on our deep space mission, on the next stream, when we build the station, we're gonna have the station's orbit literally just kind of fly right above these guys right here. Like a really close orbit. Okay, so let's get closer to that. I think we can do it. I think we have plenty of fuel to pull this off. Because there's still a lot of fuel in the actual craft itself. So like we haven't even used all the fuel yet. Like this is gonna last a bit. I think so. I think we're gonna be good. In fact, we might even be able to rendezvous with this stage. We might not even use this final stage, but I kind of want to see it. So I might dump it just for no reason. So we're gonna set that as our target. Now we gotta start retrograding a little bit more in order to get somewhat near to that thing. So let's see here. It's gonna be tricky. So let's add some maneuvers here to start playing around with what we can do. I kind of want to make my orbit somewhat resemble our space junk. I think. Oop, too much. It's okay though. And I think that's good for now. We'll just make a maneuver. So we'll fly to that one. It's a little bit tricky because of the tilt that it has here. But once we get to that side, we'll get a little bit more closer to resembling this little guy's orbit. So start burning. I'm burning way before a node a little, just because this is kind of like eyeballing it, almost, or shooting from the hip. This doesn't have to be perfect. So the next order of business would be to come here and then just retrograde. So just warp over there. Okay. Flip around, then we'll just start retrograding, just nice and easy. I might have to make a maneuver here. I don't want to go completely retrograde without this radial burn here. Okay. That's better. We do swing pretty close to that surface, don't we? That's a little better. Okay. Now on the next maneuver, that's the maneuver we're gonna want to start rendezvousing. Like, meet up really close to our probe. So, let's start doing that. We have to figure out how to get our orange node to meet up with it. So you see this, we're going to need to play around with this a bit. We could, since we're pretty closely resembling the orbit. Oop, oop. Oh, the lander's right there. That's what happened. So I could do this, and it'll be really close to resembling our little Moonlander's orbit, like very close. And what we could try, see, where are we at? So there's the lander. So the lander's in front of us. So what we could do is make our orbit just a little lower than the lander's orbit. So kind of make it dip below, like this. So that way we'll catch up to it. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do another maneuver here. This is should be not too bad of an orbit, or a burn. It says 8 seconds. We can do 8 seconds. That should be fine. Hopefully don't put more space junk into the moon. I didn't think about that. We should have made it more automated as far as the other stages go. Oh well. I just want to deorbit that little moonlander. Okay. Bam. So that is good. So now that we are pretty low, let's swing back around. So now we'll start catching up with it. And once we start doing that, then we can rendezvous with our little buddy here and deorbit this thing to its eventual certain doom, and that'd be great. I think I'm gonna dump that last stage though, like right here. I'm just gonna retrograde real quick, dump the stage, and then switch to that final stage. So we'll get to the Apple apps. So let's get a little closer there. There we go. Why don't we have power? Oh, we're in the blind spot. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why we make so many CubeSats. Oh, that sucks. Well, hopefully this little guy can bounce the signal back when he gets around the corner. Wonder... Where's the antenna? Oh, we didn't even extend the antenna, so that was kind of my fault. Well, shoot. Okay, so we got signal again. Not a great signal. But let's extend the antenna so we don't make that kind of mistake again. And, so this might be a little tricky then. If we're gonna swing around the back of the moon, lose signal, this might be a problem. Not enough CubeSats. So we would have to meet the probe right there. Because as we swing around the back of the moon, we can't pull it off. So I was going to dump that final stage over there, but I can't. Because as soon as we get around the back, all the signal's blocked. So we got a signal. Just one signal. One coming from the camp, and then from this CubeSat. But, I don't know. It's pretty close to the Apple apps, actually. We can probably dump our stage right now before it's too late. So let's do that now. Okay, here we are. Dump it. And then we gotta hurry up and prograde before it's too late. Oh, jeez. Come on. So we need to... Oh, we gotta get out of this thing's way. So we'll do this. Hurry, 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 hurry before we lose signal, man. Okay, prograde. Back to the docking stage. There. That thing was on a crash course for the moon. We didn't add junk to this to the thing, so that's great. And I feel like maybe we should actually retrograde just a bit. And the reason being so we can continue to catch up with our little probe right there. See that? That's what we want. So we'll swing back around. See, there's a blind spot right there behind the moon. So we gotta figure this out somewhere here in the front. So let's start burning retrograde to the target. Bring that down to 0. Bam. This thing's got plenty of fuel. Start burning toward the target. We want to get super close right here while we're still in front of the moon, because we're going to lose signal with it here soon. As soon as it goes around the backside again, so we don't want that. Okay. There's our target. Oh, we are moving super fast. Okay. Now that we slowed down, let's open up the arm. Get ready to grab this thing. Ah, yes. Sweet success. Oof, that was probably too much. So we'll probably slow ourselves down before we get to it. 10 meters, not too bad. But this thing is awesome. Okay, but we are on a collision course, so we don't want to hit it. We'll start slowing ourselves down. Coming up on it. Look at that. At this point, we could probably just use our RCS. Okay. Normally you want this at 0, but 0.1 is good enough. So we'll switch around to our pro target. Switch to RCS. Turn on the docking mode, because I like using the docking mode. That's just me. And we'll just slowly catch up to this thing. And usually when you're docking, you want these reticles to line up. You got the pro target and your pro grade all in one spot. That will ensure you that you are going to the right place. Alright, so we're going to grab this. And come on. Grab it. Now, if Clampertrons can't grab onto this stuff, I'm going to be disappointed. No, come on. Grab it, grab it. You can do it. Yes. We got it. So now, this is what we do. Switch to our retrograde orbit, and we retrograde burn. So this is it, you guys. The moment we've all been waiting for. Our free fall back to the moon. Probably could have even taken this all the way back to Kerbin, to be honest. Okay. I just noticed that the engine here decided to start responding and was cooking the arm. So I'm glad it didn't. Oh yeah, we definitely could have made it back to Kerbin if we wanted. Look at how much fuel we got. This thing can last forever. Okay. Once we do a free fall, like basically a straight line, we're gonna prograde. We're gonna prograde straight to the ground. Just like that. So let's prograde now. Warp ahead. Just so we get over that arc, and now we're gonna face straight to the ground. There we go. This is the good part. So now that we're facing straight down, we commit. We commit to a ground collision. It's a good little ship. I like it. We should consider something like this for our Kerbals actually ride in, and not just for, you know, suicide garbage burns or suicide garbage missions. Okay. So long. There we go. Mission accomplished. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Let's go back to our space center. There we go, you guys. I'm gonna call it. I am tired, so I am starting to slur my words. My speech is getting slow, and so I'm sleepy. So thanks for watching. If you're new to this channel, just be sure to follow. Help a brother out. Let this little channel grow. Outside of that, well, see, I'm stuttering now. I'm tired. But yeah, so outside of that, yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy your weekend. It's Friday now, so have a good one. Peace.